Your dreams will always require your healing, and you need to know that in order to move forward. If you feel stuck in your creativity, your art, your business, or your life, then it's essential to understand that you are being asked to heal what's in the way of you creating what you dream about. This podcast is all about the relationship between your emotional health and your creativity. I'm Courtney Lancaster, and this is the Heal Create podcast. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Heal Create podcast. My name is Courtney Lancaster, and I have a very special friend with me today. Everyone welcome Rodger Jaeger.
Hey. Oh. I'm excited to be here.
I'm so glad you're here. And if you're listening to this podcast on the day that it's released, then it is also the day that Rodger and I have released a song together.
Oh, yeah. It is happening.
It's happening. It's happened. It's out there. Go listen. We're actually going to play the song on this episode. So if you stick around, you'll be able to hear it. I mean, we won't play it live. We'll play the recording of the song. Didn't you know you were performing right now, Rodger? Did you know that?
I mean, if you wanted me to, I could make it happen. I just don't know. I don't know with the latency and things. I don't know if we could sing along at the same time. I don't think that works very well.
Yeah. Have you ever heard people try and sing on Instagram Live? It's just terrible.
Oh, yeah. I've been that guy.
Really bad. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's usually not so good. Well, I am happy to have you. I also am happy to have you as a guest because of your career as a singer-songwriter, performer. That is so impressive to me. And I will just let everyone know that is how I met Rodger. I met Rodger a few years ago at a songwriting retreat. And I heard him perform some of his songs and was just blown away by his talent and stage presence. And so I went home and I was showing James some of your music on Spotify. And I came across this song that you had written called Forgot. You had already written it with your friends.
Yeah.
And I absolutely loved this song. And so we can talk about that when we get to that. When we get to talking about the song. But basically, long story short, I asked if we could do a duet, and that's the song that you guys will be hearing. But Rodger is such an incredible performer. You should look him up on Spotify. And I was wondering, I don't think I know this, but how long have you actually been doing this?
So I like to say that I've been playing music for 25 years.
Wow, really?
Yeah, but more I tell people, but more seriously since 2013. So 11 years seriously trying to actually be a music professional.
Okay, so how did you, when you say you started taking it seriously, which is actually a great connecting thing that this podcast, the project, everything that I do really is like to awaken that moment when artists are ready to actually pursue what they want to pursue.
Yeah.
So what was that shift for you into like, no, I really want to do this. I'm ready to do this.
Well, that was an actual physical move back to Nashville. I say back to Nashville because I did my first year of college in Nashville and dropped out after that, did a few other things, wound up back in Oklahoma where I'm from. But 2012, 2013 hit that point where I was going, oh my gosh, I am getting to my late 20s now. What do I really want to do music, or am I just going to dream about it and think about what could have been? And so for me, that looked like, let's move to Nashville for real and jump into this world. So you moved to Nashville, and like, what were your first couple of years looking like getting into music? Yeah. So I had some money saved up. So I didn't get a job immediately. I just kind of ran around all over town and went to every open mic and every writer's round and every little thing I could play at, I went to. And my first few months were just networking. So building relationships, trying to get in songwriting rooms with other songwriters who were ahead of me, and some weren't. Some were just my peers. Like Nashville is its own its own scene. It's really interesting. Yeah, but so that's what it looked like. And I released a record. So I moved in April 2013, and I released a record that I had been working on for 2 years, mostly in Tulsa, in September 2013.
Nice. Yeah. And I know that you've put out 2 records. Is that right?
3 now.
3 records. Okay. And what's been one of the most exciting things that you've been able to, I don't know, experience or that's happened to you as a singer-songwriter, artist, performer, person?
I got to play at the Bluebird Cafe twice.
Amazing.
In Nashville, which was
famous cafe.
It was so fun. Yeah.
That's incredible. I was talking to a producer that I've been working with in LA, and he was talking about how, I mean, this isn't a secret to any artist, but how much the music, just the entire game has changed. It used to be about like getting discovered, about record labels finding, hidden talent and then supporting them or exploiting them, I guess, depending on your perspective, to, into fame and attention and all the things. And now, I mean, a record label won't even consider you. It's all algorithmic now.
Yeah.
A record label won't consider you unless you have a certain number of streams, you have a certain number of following, you have a lot of success with whatever it is, TikTok or Reels or whatever. And that's how they know that you're going somewhere. And then at that point, that's when you'll get a lot of interest from the music industry. But a lot of artists and musicians know, and I think yourself included, that like you can do it all yourself.
Right.
You don't need outside support or professionals in order to get your music out there. It's just such a different game.
It's such a different landscape.
The good news about having so many resources to be able to do all of this ourselves, like with all of these, just even like the production software that you can get on your computer and laptop, and then we all have access. We all technically have access to the same amount of people on social media. We all there's so much that you can do on your own.
Yeah.
And it's a really amazing time to be an artist. The hard thing about it is you have to have such a robust and healthy relationship with self-promotion. Mm-hmm. And for I honestly hate to say this. And for people that are, not, I don't know, I guess the only way to say it is like people who are a little bit older it's a whole skill that we didn't grow up with, a whole thing that we didn't learn how to do.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, even I have a teenage son, and he's like, it's like so normal to him. And so, yeah, what's your relationship with self-promotion?
Oh gosh, self-promotion. Like even that statement, like I recoil a little bit.
I know,
because maybe the environment I've grown up in partially.
Yeah. Yeah.
But self-promotion sounds selfish. It sounds not good. But I mean, the longer I've done this, that I realize that no one will hear you if you don't put something out.
That's the thing.
And being an artist is a constant sales job, 24/7.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
It totally is. That's a good way to say it. I mean, it's honestly pretty dishonoring to your art to not promote it.
Yeah.
After you've worked so hard at it. And I think in that way, it's a really interesting healing journey of reprogramming the idea of putting yourself out there and selling yourself. I mean, you have to believe in yourself and advocate for yourself and promote yourself so ruthlessly. And for a people pleaser like me, I honestly just want to be like, I want to be picked and I want to be endorsed. That sounds way easier to me.
Yeah.
But it's just not like that.
Yeah.
And waiting for that isn't serving anyone.
Right. Yeah.
I wanted to talk about the song that we're releasing.
Yeah.
There's so many songs that I feel like I would love the backstory on, but we'll just stick with this one for right now. And I think you wrote this with some friends in Nashville. Is that right?
I did.
Yeah. So tell me about what was the experience of writing the song like?
So I had the guitar part, and I had the melody in my head.
Music first. Okay.
So I came to my friends. Their names are Mark and Heather Miller. So they're a married couple. Known them for a long time.
Yeah.
Still great friends. And they had just moved to Nashville. They were kind of a duo. They also owned their own college booking agency, but they wanted to do songwriting. So got together a few times. This particular song I played for them. I'm like, hey guys, what does this sound like to you? And they're going, it sounds like maybe a relationship that has lost its fire. And so we dug into it, and I mean, they were such a great source because they'd been married for a few years, and they'd have to figure out for themselves, what does it look like when it seems like our love has grown cold, and how do we come back together and make sure we're really connected and healthy? And so the song was born out of that place, and I could relate to it personally. Like I've never been married, but I'd been in a few like longer term relationships, and kind of had the experience of everything's really great in the beginning, and then you get a couple years in, and the honeymoon period's gone, and how do you keep this going? So,
yeah, totally. Yeah. Well, and I liked this song because, and I think that like James and I really liked it. My husband and I really liked it because it wasn't a song about like a crash and burn or like a big fight or an ultimatum. It wasn't like a dramatic song. It was like a song that felt very realistic, where sometimes you just get into the flow of life and you are going through the motions, and then you're just like, wait a second, where are we? What happened? And so I think that that's really more common in relationships, I think, and it's not always like the sexiest thing to write about or talk about or whatever, because there was no real big drama. It was just kind of a falling away from each other and from each other's hearts. So I loved when I listened to it. I loved the way that it was written and the pictures that you guys painted and the words. And so you have already released it on Spotify.
Yeah.
And so I just asked if you'd ever be interested. I actually had this idea like a year before actually asking you, but I was like, that's just so presumptuous. Oh. Yeah. Oh, immediately. Oh. And then we wrote together a few times, and then I was like, hey, so like, what would you ever think about? What would you? And you're so nice and so generous with the idea, and it was really fun. And honestly, it didn't even feel like I had to be super. It wasn't hard work. It was like it was already there. Right. I feel like I could already hear the duet in it. Yeah. And so it was just fun to like let it materialize. And we recorded it in Reading, Black Box Studios.
We did.
Not together though.
Right. But kind of. Right? I mean, I was there. We were there partially.
Oh, that's right. You were there for that. Yeah,
but
totally.
I came back after you had gone and redid my vocals because I don't record well in the morning.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Yeah, that's right. And for me, it's like a more of an easier range. And for you, it's like more in your challenging range. Yeah. So I have songs like that too that are in my, and a more challenging space for me. So I was like, okay, great, easy. You were like, I need a minute.
Can we do this at 9:00 at night? Because
I'll
be warmed up.
Well, you ended up doing it, and it sounded amazing. If I do say so myself, I love it. Everyone I ever sent it to is like, oh my gosh, this song. It's just like squeezes your heart.
Oh man, I sent it to Mark and Heather before we even got our vinyl.
Oh, you did?
I did. And
what'd they say?
Oh, Heather responded back. She's like, I like this even more than the other one already.
Really? Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's so kind.
Yeah. Cause it works really well as a duet for sure. I'm so glad that you heard that. So.
Yeah, totally. Well, thank you so much for letting me letting me add to it.
Oh, yeah.
And we are going to be performing it live.
We are.
In a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Which I'm so excited. If you're in the Reading area at the Stirring at 7:00, we're going to be doing a little show and performing that song live.
Come on.
Amazing. And probably telling this whole story again.
Oh, yeah.
For like the 4th time.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, absolutely.
Love talking to you.
Yeah.
Love hearing your story. Thank you guys so much for listening. And if you stick around, we will be giving you a listen to our new song, Forgot. Bye, everyone.
Bye. I remember when we traded sleep for talks. You confessed your dreams while we laid on the dock. Baby, baby, I knew all your thoughts.
Minutes slipped to hours as we whispered in the dark. Your voice a melody where I could rest my heart. Lately, I think I forgot.
Forgot that love is the price. Forgot that love needs our time. The glow of our screens has now replaced the stars. Troubles cloud my mind, the silence lasts for hours. Baby,
Baby,
baby, I think we forgot. Forgot that love is the price. Forgot that love needs our time. Oh, have you felt it? Have you felt it too? Do you miss us?
do you miss us
Like I do? 'Cause I'm desperate to change it. Oh, let's rearrange our lives. Baby, I'm so sorry that I forgot. Forgot that